Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things 33 common sense lens. And you know, it's just another day ending in Y, where there's another Disney employee, there's another Star Wars actor who decides to go out there and call the fans ists and phobes and something else like that, all that kind of nonsense to justify the fact that, well, guess what? Your character was an absolute disastrous dumpster fire, and it's all Disney Star Wars' fault. But for some reason, at the end of the day, the fans somehow get blamed on this kind of thing before, and it's really annoying too, especially when it's a character you defended out there, one of the characters that you thought got done real nasty and dirty in the Disney sequel trilogy out there. And boys and girls, I don't know if he's trying to get back into the good graces of Disney, but considering the diss track kind of debacle that happened last year with The Acolyte, I don't think this is probably the best way to get himself back into the good graces of the Walt Disney Company, but who knows, because at the end of the day, Kathleen Kennedy is absolutely insane, and she is probably lapping up every single bit of this, because as you can see over here from the headline from FandomPulse.substack, John Boyega implies Star Wars fans are racist and describes franchise as the most whitest elite space. Oh yes, boys and girls, of course, forget Lando Calrissian, forget Samuel L. Jackson, no. Star Wars fans are a bunch of ists and phobes, even though contrary to popular belief out there, most Star Wars fans were extremely upset by the way he got sidelined, and it wasn't the fans who shrunk you on the poster, John Boyega. It wasn't the fans who decided to turn your character into nothing more than comic relief. And the worst part about this is you are well aware of the fact that a lot of fans were upset with this because somebody informed you not too long ago. But hey, I guess that's the way you guys like to try to rewrite history. And guess what? We are not going to allow that in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to go over this article from Fandom Pulse, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what kind of idiocy is coming out of Boyega's mouth now. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 1,700. We're on our way to 1,800, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, let us know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Do you think John Boyega is trying to put all this kind of nonsense talking points out there to try to get himself back into Disney Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy, or do you think he's just another cranky little petulant child out there in Hollywood that decides to blame everybody but himself and, of course, the Walt Disney Company themselves, the ones that were responsible for these movies and the writings and all of that kind of stuff? Does it surprise you that another actor is coming out there and trying to blame the fans instead of the corporations that are actually responsible for these disastrous dumpster fires? Let us know what you think about that in the comment section down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from John F. Trent over at Fandom Pulse. And I mean, seriously, what is up with the look on his face? Because you look more entitled, and what is up with this little weak mustache game you've trying to go on right here? Did you just forget to shave that day? Do you have low testosterone? Is that why you can't grow a proper mustache? I'm just kind of curious here, but he looks like a tool. He really does look like a tool. John Boyega, who played Finn in Disney Star Wars trilogy, recently decried Star Wars fans as racist and described the franchise as the most whitest elite space. Boyega made his comments in Apple TV's #1 on the call sheet, Black Leading Men in a Hollywood Documentary. And really? Black leading men in Hollywood? Outside of Star Wars? What has he actually been in of any kind of note? Yeah, can you guys think of your other John Boyega favorite movies out there? Me neither. According to Entertainment Weekly, in the documentary, Boyega describes Star Wars as a franchise that's so white, a black person existing in it was something. Yeah, because black people have never existed in Star Wars prior to John Boyega. He went on to make it very clear that he also took issue with Star Wars fans. You can always tell it's something when some Star Wars fan tries to say, well, we made Lando Calrissian and had Samuel L. Jackson. It's like telling me how many cookie chips are in the cookie dough. It's like they just scattered that in there, bro. And I mean, like, really? Like, honestly, they just scattered them in there, bro. So his problem is there isn't enough black people in Star Wars. You know, something that was literally developed during the 70s and 80s. Like, really? Really? That's your issue? There wasn't enough black people in Star Wars to begin with. So when we point out, you're trying to act like you're the first black person ever in Star Wars. When we point that out, you're like, wow, whatever. That doesn't mean anything, bro. It wasn't enough. Really? These entitled, elitist, narcissistic little psychopaths, boys and girls. He also said moviegoers are unwilling to accept black actors in lead roles. Really? Because I'm pretty sure Creed got a really, really awesome audience scores and reviews and made a profit at the box office, unlike The Rise of Palpatine. Actually made money at the box office, and guess what? That's got a leading character. It's literally kind of like a continuation of the Rocky movies. It's like a spin-off of the Rocky movies, yet those continue to be successful. So what do you mean audiences and fans don't like black actors in lead roles? Are you insane? No, that's right. You're just an entitled little prick who lives in his own little bubble with his own little mental delusions. They're okay with us playing the best friend, but once we touch their heroes, once we're the lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's just a bit too much. They're pandering. No. A lot of us, that first trailer implied that you were going to be a Jedi, and a lot of us were very excited about that. I love the idea. I don't give a shit that you're black. My little sister's half black. My brother's fucking black. Like, I don't give a shit that you're black. I really don't care. I was excited about your character because I was like, oh, cool. We're going to have a duality. It's not just going to be about one person. It's not just going to be about Rey. It's going to be about Finn, too. And they're both going to become Jedi, and they're going to work together and go forward to bring a great light to, of course, the Star Wars universe. But, oh, no, we didn't get that. Kathleen Kennedy decided that John Boyega's character, the black character, had to get sidelined in order for her own self-insert to be elevated above every other character that's ever existed in the Star Wars universe so she can be the bestest ever. That was Kathleen Kennedy's doing, John Boyega, not the fans. So once again, I hate to tell you, you're pointing your ire in the wrong direction. While he attacked the franchise for being white and elitist and implied its fans are racist, he described being cast in Star Wars as a fundamental moment. Oh, of course, when you thought you were going to be part of something exciting that was going to go great and keep moving forward, it was a dream come true. But I thought all the Star Wars fans were racists. We waited for months for that. When that big call came in, that's call that's all those stars talk about, that changed their life and stuff. It's like, that's it? That's the call. It's such an attack on reality. You mean like your false accusations and your complete and total gaslighting? Yeah, like that kind of attack on reality? Clearly we see that. These comments come less than 2 years after he indicated he was open to returning to Star Wars. He told Tech Radar in 2023, I'm open to all characters and scripts that are enjoyable, have a great cast attached, and a terrific director. So yeah, I'm open to all opportunities. Please, Star Wars, have me back. I haven't done anything significant since then, but oh no. As long as Kathleen Kennedy's in charge, no, it's going to be Rey. Sorry, John Boyega, blame the fans all you want. It all comes down to Disney's leadership. In the past, Boyega has criticized Star Wars franchise. Back in 2021, while doing a Q&A for his TV miniseries Small Axe, he compared to working on Star Wars. By the way, has anybody seen Small Axe? Anybody? Bueller. He compared working on Star Wars to a luxury jail. He said, being in a big franchise, it's kind of like a luxury jail, sometimes for an actor when you want to do something else. Because remember, in a franchise, you're working on one character for many years, which can starve you of other muscles. Oh, it's Star Wars' fault. You suck as an actor and everything else. Oh, poor John Boyega. In September 2020, he criticized how Disney handled the character of Finn. He told GQ, you get yourself involved in projects, you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is to not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. And amen to that, John Boyega. It's like a few years ago, he was actually sane and wasn't completely and totally possessed by the spirit of the age, because that's exactly what all the fans said. We didn't want your character treated like that. We wanted to see you as a Jedi. We wanted you to be force sensitive. We wanted you to go out there and head toe-to-toe with Kylo Ren and everybody else out there. But oh no, Kathleen Kennedy's self-insert had to take center stage. Like, you guys know what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver. You knew what to do with these other people. But when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it comes to John Boyega, fuck all, he added. So what do you want me to say? What you want to say is, I enjoyed being a part of it. It was a great experience. Nah. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver, all the nuance to Daisy Ridley, and let's be honest, Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows I'm not exposing anything. And he's not. This is what a lot of the fans said back then. It's absolutely insane that he's now coming out there and bashing the people that used to defend him. You are going to get exactly what you deserve. You are not, no fans are going to want you back. They're not going to support any project you do happen to get involved in, either in Star Wars or anyone else out there, when you come out there and bash people like this. And this is forever. This is an Apple documentary, given most people aren't watching anything over there on Apple, but needless to say, this is something we're all going to talk about forever if you do ever get brought back for a project. This is going to taint your reputation even further with Star Wars fans. And it's not the fans' fault. We don't make the creative decisions. You were absolutely right here in 2020 when you said that Disney Star Wars, i.e. Kathleen Kennedy, sidelined your character for literally everyone else after putting you in the trailer, making it look like you were going to be a Jedi, making it look like you were going to be awesome and take some serious bad guys down. No. They just ended up turning you into the butt of a bunch of jokes. And Kelly Marie Tran's the exact same way. The Rose Tico character is horrible, ridiculous, and stupid, and treats Finn like crap too. But the chick, the actress, she's awesome. Never heard anything bad about Kelly Marie Tran, but her character is horrendous, and what they did to Finn character is bad as well. But of course, John Boyega now has to come stick his foot in his mouth and try to, I don't know, get back into the good graces of the acolytes of the cult in Hollywood. I don't get it. Back in 2019, Boyega also indicated he had discussions on set about how poor the script writing for Disney's Star Wars was. As you can see here, John Boyega is the most useless character in the current Star Wars franchise, but you don't hear him saying anything about how bad that writing is. John Boyega replies, I have those discussions on set. Yeah, when he started seeing his character getting sidelined constantly, he was probably like, what's going on with this? I thought I was supposed to be one of the main characters. I thought I was going to end up being a Jedi, and then you decided to go in this direction. Yeah, it didn't work out very well either. So furthermore, in an interview with Hyperbeast, he criticized The Last Jedi, saying, The Force Awakens, I think, was the beginning of something quite solid. It was literally just nothing more than a rehash of A New Hope, but I was willing to give them a chance. The Last Jedi, if I'm being honest, saying I was feeling a bit iffy for me. Yeah, I think all of us kind of thought that one. I didn't necessarily agree with a lot of the choices, and then that's something that spoke to Mark Hamill a lot about, and we had conversations about it, and it was hard for all of us because we were separated, and that's one of the things too. They totally destroyed Luke Skywalker's character in The Last Jedi. Like, blue titty milk, really? Guess the original Star Wars films were much of a trio feel where it's essentially about Luke's journey, but Han and Leia are there with a strong dynamic, which I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to establish that long-term dynamic with episode 9, but if it's exploring that dynamic, that would be cool, which obviously they didn't. I do feel even after 3 films we still don't know much about how we got to Han, Luke, and Leia. Maybe that's a great opportunity to get to know them a little bit more, which obviously is never going to happen with Carrie Fisher passing. Obviously, we're never going to get that on screen ever again. So he goes on to talk about this. Nobody else in cast had people saying they were going to boycott the movie because they were in it. What? In the same interview, he claims that he was sent death threats after being cast in The Force Awakens. Okay, first off, anybody that's actually out there doing it, for one, you're stupid, and it's probably just some troll on the internet that isn't actually serious, but you do have to take those things seriously. I don't know, at the end of the day, show us the receipts, though. Like, I don't ever trust these Hollywood people when they say that unless they actually show us the receipts. You can easily do that. I mean, Ripa has no problem whatsoever showing you some of the DMs he gets with some of the nasty-ass comments and things like that he gets. So, yeah, just show us the receipts is what I always call on all of that kind of stuff, too. So, nobody else had that experience, but yet people are surprised I'm this way. This is my frustration. And here's the ticker. And shout out to our dear sweet Tugs, that Tug Life. Go follow her on YouTube and on Twitter and everywhere else. Tugs is a wonderful woman. She's beautiful. She's fabulous. She's a great girl. I met her in person at the San Antonio meetup. She's just an absolute wonderful person. Just a wonderful personality. Very upbeat. Just absolutely lovely lady. But right here, Tugs shows off the expression that so many Star Wars fans said the exact same thing about all of this. Tugs points out, they really did Finn dirty. He has the most interesting backstory of all the characters, i.e. a stormtrooper who has now broken out of, all of his conditioning and everything else and refuses to continue working for the Empire, the new order, which is essentially just the Empire rebooted, and going out there, that's a fascinating story. Yes, we're talking about, you could have led to a stormtrooper uprising, right, where Finn goes back now with his Jedi powers and his lightsaber, and he's like, I will rescue all of you. You don't have to work. That could have been an incredible storyline, but no. Ray is all we got. So she says, interesting backstory of all the new characters, and they decided to push him to the side instead. It sucks. And John Boyega, right here, replies, I really didn't know many fans felt this way. Well, clearly, you weren't actually paying attention to any of the legitimate criticism, and you were just listening to all of the nonsense talking points from either your agent or the headlines of the media and all that kind of stuff, because guess what? John Boyega, It wasn't it wasn't Star Wars fans that sidelined your character. It was Kathleen Kennedy and everybody else in the creative decision process over there at Disney Star Wars. So by all means, call us racist, call us phobes, say it's all a bunch of white people's fault, that it just wasn't, Star Wars was never diverse enough, and that's the reason why it's all bad, and bringing up Samuel L. Jackson and Lando Calrissian are just talking points and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Boy, at the end of the day, my friends, this is the kind of stuff that just ends up getting you in trouble every single time. You cannot ostracize a fan base and expect anything good to come out of them. Even if you do somehow worm your way back into Disney Star Wars' good graces, you have burnt all the bridges you had with the fans. The fans have defended you, and that's the worst part about this. There were so many of us out there that agreed that they did Finn dirty in those movies, and now John Boyega, instead of actually listening to the real fans out there, has listened to nothing more than the Hollywood trade magazines and has internalized all of that insanity, has internalized all of that spirit of the age, garbage nonsense, and now he is spewing it back at as talking points. Guess what, John Boyega? Accusing Star Wars fans of being racist isn't going to save your career. And it wasn't us that did you dirty, it was Disney Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy. So call us ists and phobes all day long. It's just another day ending in Y, because those words don't mean anything anymore. But you know what also doesn't mean anything anymore? John Boyega, your career in Hollywood, which clearly floundered, and attitudes like this certainly don't help yourself. And even if you do get back into Star Wars, it will be DOA on the beginning, because fans have a very long memory and they are done with BS like this.